Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another movie reaction. This week I will be reacting to Pearl. It is the prequel to X, which I reacted to last week. I knew X was part of something bigger, but I just thought it was like a series of films which weren't connected, like the Cornetto trilogy or something. But then my friend told me it was actually part of a trilogy which was meant to be connected with one another. They haven't released the third one yet, but this is the prequel film to X. So I'm assuming it's going to focus on the creepy old couple before they got old, probably still creepy, but either way I'm looking forward to checking it out. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is 2022's Pearl. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. Also, was this released the same year as X? So they were both released the same year? Is that correct? It's a really quick turnaround in a prequel movie if that's accurate. Unless like both scripts were commissioned at the same time and the studio agreed to do both simultaneously. It's very rare something like this actually happens. Maya Goth, that's the lady that played the cocaine addict who survived in the first one, but I learnt after I reacted to it, she also played the old woman, so she must be playing the younger old woman in this one. I don't know what the significance of casting her in both those roles in X was either, I just know that that's accurate, she played both. Oh, there's those dance moves. Even in her prime, she was dancing like she just stabbed a guy in the neck.
Geh runter zur Scheune und füttere die Tiere, wie du's versprochen hast.
A strict prick of a parent is always the explanation for people like this. It was the same for the porn version of herself in the first film.
One day you'll never see me again. Farm life may be it for you, but it sure ain't for me.
Not true. You will be on the farm until your dying day. This is filmed very warmly, and it's got like whimsical music over the top of it. It's very white picket fence America. Even though it's not a white picket fence, it's a farm. This shit's like the Waltons or something. It's nice to see colour back in horror movies, by the way, after years of like diluted tones and lots of sepias and shit becoming popular in horror. It's nice to see something as colourful and warm as the way this is filmed.
What are you doing in here, Mr. Goose?
Leave the goose alone, I like geese. Oh, she's just killed the goose, for fuck's sake. In reality, that would have been a far more ferocious battle as well. Geese don't fuck around. They are aggressive. I hate to see animal deaths. I would have preferred it if this film had started with a human death. I can cope with those easier.
Go on, girl!
It's probably the same alligator as well. They have long lifespans.
Take it.
I love the filming style which this is using so far. It's tonally not similar to X, but in a great way. Set in 1918, so this is about 50 years before the events in X take place.
With all the farmhands gone, I can't do everything around here myself.
Help.
Early prediction, she kills her mother before the end of this film.
Says the Allies have taken control of France.
You can read it after supper.
Ah, good old Spanish flu. The COVID-19 before COVID-19 existed. I wonder if we'll get to see her meet her later husband in the second film, during this film. Because just now she seems like a very much isolated character, only her on the farm with her mother and father, being designated all the chores and shit while she dreams of a more fantastical life in Hollywood, dancing and shit. It's a perfect setup for someone to go insane, to be fair.
All we do is walk, it seems. I never know if we'll get to where they say we're going.
Ah, so she's already seeing the guy who went on to be her husband. He's just in the war.
I never want to be away from you again. Till death do us part. Your loving husband, Howard.
This film's gonna end up making me feel so sorry for the way they turned out in the second one, isn't it? Not the second one, but, you know, the events which later followed this film. Surely it's a bit rude to do that in front of your dad.
Remember to cover your face. And don't linger close to anyone. Papers are warning of a more lethal resurgence.
I didn't realise they were a face mask culture once before, during the Spanish flu. I bet they didn't have cool 3D printed ones like we did though. Photorealistic images on the front of surgical masks. Up your game, Pearl.
2 bits, please.
It's quite a decent price for morphine. If she only knew, she could have stocked up back then and been a kingpin. If there was a Spanish flu outbreak, as soon as someone started coughing in the same cinema as me, I would be out of there.
He looked just like a kitty cat, he loved to dance and play.
That's some high level can right there. It is actually jarring to watch a horror movie where everything is so bright, even like the pink and blue of those painted pipes.
Father's infirm, so I have to help at home.
I'm sorry to hear that. You want to come watch the second show?
Oh, the picture house guy likes her.
Mom was expecting me, but I appreciate the,
Stay there for just 1 minute, would you?
okay.
Well, at least she's being a loyal wife, so far.
From what you just saw.
You showing it again?
Sure, but it's only one frame. Nobody will notice once I splice it back together.
That was cool of him.
I'm always here, and well, I can run the pictures as much as I like.
Thank you.
He didn't push himself on her too heavy there, he was generally just being nice, and it was cool of him to give her a frame. He obviously likes her and wants to fuck her, but at least he was keeping it gentlemanly. For fuck's sake, Pearl, really? Straight away you lose it? Gotta love a cornfield in a horror movie. It's a staple of the genre at this point. Children of the Corn, scary stories to tell in the dark, etc. Then you've got sci-fi using it as well, like in Signs. Ah, Scarecrow, another classic of the horror genre at this point. Now all we need is the Scarecrow to shit out a porcelain doll and we have officially made the Trinity.
May I have this dance?
And you would think a woman anthropomorphizing a scarecrow, this would be the first example of it on this channel. No, there's a Patricia Arquette episode of my Tales from the Crypt reaction series which has this very same concept. I advise you check it out. It's like an old school BA reactions now, red curtain in the background, shitter camera quality, but you know, it's the same me. Go check it out. Scarecrow's quite a good dancer, but then it's easy to follow. Let's see him lead. It's a very erotic kiss she's given that Scarecrow.
I'm married!
I was gonna say, is she going to be angry at herself for having thoughts about this other guy while being married? I mean, I don't think your husband will be mad if you do it with the Scarecrow. Just don't go back to the picture house and do it with the real guy. You'll be fine. Okay, Scarecrow sex scene. She seems to really enjoy it as well. That Scarecrow's packing. Well, that was an interesting trip to the pharmacist's.
What is on your head?
Found it along the road.
Do not bring it inside.
Let her keep her memento from the Scarecrow sex. It was a special moment.
What a charm life it must be to star in the movies.
He looks like he is on death's door right now. Is that just morphine, or how close to death he is, so that he's not even feeling that?
There are 8 cents missing.
May have gotten some hard candy for the trip home.
Why won't she just tell her mother the truth that she went to the picture house? Will her mum be angry at that?
Where are you going?
To bed.
I did not excuse you from the table.
She runs a very tight ship.
Du darfst nicht so leichtsinnig sein. Es liegt jetzt nur an uns. An dir. Und mir.
I do see it from a mother's perspective as well though, you know, it's a time of war, they're a German family in America, which can't be the most comfortable to begin with, and then on top of that, just everything becoming financially tight, the dad no longer to make money for them, it must be tough. The music they've chosen for this film is amazingly perfect but still bizarre. It's like the Wizard of Oz music or something. Who'd have thought 50 years later there'd be a sex scene in that barn?
Any new letters from Howard? Oh, well, Mother has been riddled with worry.
Is this Howard's sister maybe?
There's a dance audition this Saturday at our church for a Christmas chorus line.
Oh, you gotta let Pearl audition. You know she's going to audition. This can't go well. Something must go wrong.
Sister-in-laws have to stick together, right?
Mitzi, time to go.
Well, at least she's got like one seemingly true friend. Howard's sister seems to genuinely get along with her.
Charlie, this could be it.
Charlie looked cool. You know what this almost reminds me of with its colour palette and choice of music and the dancing infused stuff is actually Joker. I know it's nothing like it as a plot or anything else, but you know, she is another isolated individual with dreams of performing, enjoys dancing and shit. There's actually more things in common with Joker with this film than you first would think. Now, to be fair, I did not see the Joker fuck a Scarecrow. But would it have made Joker better if he had? That's the real question you should be asking yourself.
Can't believe you get to see the pictures every day for free.
Not a bad gig, huh?
No, it must have been cool actually being a projectionist. It's a job that quickly went to the wayside with digital media.
But I've never really danced in front of anyone before. What if I'm not perfect?
Is she here to dance for him? He will be so flattered.
How about a film nobody else has seen?
Okay.
I picked this one up while I was in the service in France.
He's got the rare shit, the good shit. Is he showing off Victorian porn?
Eventually, people pay an arm and a leg to see this.
He is accurate. Porn took over the world since this time. He's maybe not as gentlemanly as I first thought. It's not the most suave move to instantly show a woman an adult movie.
You only get one take at this life. And if you don't make the most of it when you're young, you don't get a second chance.
That's quite prophetic words, because when we saw her when she was an old woman, she'd missed all these opportunities, so something must happen between her mindset now and to when she's an old lady. She never gets round to it, or she fails, one of the two.
Why would you ever want to be like everybody else?
Sometimes it just seems more peaceful, I guess.
She's doing a great job acting this character as well.
You could even be in pictures like this. I know, I'd watch you.
Don't know if that's creepy or flirting, but he's definitely being forward.
Thank you
And what for?
for seeing me tonight.
She's still being a good wife though. She lets out all her sexual frustrations on the Scarecrow. The healthy way. Oh no. Don't tell me she feeds her dad to the alligator. That's a horrific way to go. Also, that alligator will be high on morphine.
What are you doing?
Talking with Daddy?
We need to get him back to the house.
The mum knows she's quite creepy. She clearly is somewhat concerned that she's brought him to the edge of this lake.
Life rarely turns out how you expect. You need to be prepared for that if you ever want to be happy.
Good advice. That is what ended up destroying her. Also, the alligator must have been like, don't tease me. 1 second I'm getting a full human to eat and the next nothing. Not even a goose. Are they alligator eggs? Baby alligators. Maybe one of those eggs grew up to eat the people in X. Cow's like, don't leave that egg in here. What the fuck? Unsure if that was one of the alligator's eggs or a goose egg or something. I'm not too familiar with the egg shapes between those two species, but say goodbye to that kid anyway. I guess she was imagining that because if her husband did die in the war, it would unburden her with responsibility maybe?
Stay in the bunkhouse.
But it's freezing out there.
You should have told her that before putting me at risk.
Kinda true. If she does have the Spanish flu, if she gives it to her father, he will definitely die.
If I go to this audition and I don't get picked, then I'll come home and I'll never speak of it again, I swear.
That is fair. If her mother doesn't go along with this, she's just being a bitch.
I've seen the things you've done. In private. You believe no one is watching.
Did she see her fuck the Scarecrow?
They will notice eventually and they will be frightened. Just as I am.
Damn, the mother knows her better than I thought she did.
It's only a matter of time before you hurt someone else. Malevolence is festering in you, I see it.
This mother is 100% on point. I wanted the best for Pearl, but her mum knows her.
Don't you ever speak that way to me again, do you hear me?
Sorry.
No! You're not! Or you would stop all this!
I like how the lightning is picking up outside the window as she's getting angrier.
Why should we be saddled with caring for them or the work of this farm? What about us getting what we want?
That was some speech. I thought she was keeping some things from her mother, but apparently her mum knows her inside out.
When you fail.
And you will fail.
To say that is just cruel.
What more do you want?
I just don't want him to block you, is all.
A brutal honesty there. Oh shit! It is going down in the farm tonight. Oh my god, the poor mum. That is so rough. I was not expecting that scene to go like that. What's left of her father inside that husk is very disappointed right now. And it instantly made her want to fuck the projectionist. Well, that's a night she won't soon forget. So far, by the way, I would say this is the far superior film to X. X seemed like a pretty by-the-books slasher film, if you will, just with a unique motivation, whereas this feels completely fresh. She's probably going to end up killing this guy now, just because she feels guilty she's cheated on her husband.
You forgot this last time. I'm glad you came back.
Yeah, don't forget your lucky Scarecrow top hat.
Let me at least drive you home.
Back to being a gentleman now he's had his pussy. Do you think both her mother and father will be dead by now? She kinda just left her mum in the basement with burns all over herself and the dad at the kitchen table who can't look after himself. Dad's still sitting there fucking terrified of her. Guy kinda suits the top hat too. Is that just how top hats are? Can anyone put one on and suit it?
What was that?
Nothing.
I've just realised how much this is like the porno in the first one. It was called The Farmer's Daughters. She's literally being the farmer's daughter right now for this guy.
Please don't go.
What's the matter with you?
About time someone asked. Oh, this guy's so dead. She's gonna get second thoughts and kill him. I just know it.
It's her dog. She made a mess in the kitchen while I was away, so I put her in the root cellar.
That was a good cover story. She might get laid yet, and he might survive.
This is Mary. Ain't she a dish?
Can tell this guy's visibly starting to get a bit freaked out by her demeanour now.
What about your dog?
Huh?
What's its name?
We don't have a dog.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Oh, I better be getting back, you know?
This is why it's never good if you're a psychopath and also a liar.
Nice seeing you, Pearl.
Did I do something wrong?
Yeah, kinda. Locked your mum in a cellar.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. I know because I feel things very deeply.
She did spot that quite well, to be fair.
Why are you leaving me? If I didn't do anything wrong, I don't understand. I thought you like me!
I do like you, I just...
Tell me the
truth!
Unfortunately, this isn't too uncommon. I've met women like this who night one seem so cool, by night two they're screaming and throwing plates at your head. Feminists love talking about spousal assault cases and shit, like the statistics are incredibly skewed in the favour of men assaulting women. It's just because men don't talk about that shit. I know so many guys who've had similar experiences to me. But yes, fuck the men hitting women too.
I'm not staying on this farm!
I had a feeling this guy wasn't getting out of here alive. Poor guy, man. He really did nothing to deserve that as well. I think this marks the third time we've seen a man murdered via pitchfork on this channel, so, you know, interesting new tradition.
You don't remember what it feels like.
Her poor mum. Yes, she was strict, but she did not deserve this fate.
Let's get you cleaned up.
She's essentially ridding herself of all her burdens, so she can be as free as she wants to be. It's not going to work out for her, and murder is never right, but I'm following her thought process so far, I feel like, which is frightening. They've done a good job making this woman so unpredictably terrifying. As soon as she picked up that pillow, I was like, oh no, here comes the smothering. And she is smothering him. What a horrible way to go. This alligator is going to be fat as fuck.
What's in the suitcases? All my things I need for going on the road.
Wow, you're confident.
It is a Hail Mary attempt. She is going to be heartbroken if she fails this audition.
Well, if it's not me, then I hope it's you. Right?
It has to be me.
Wow. Fuck you, Howard's sister. That poor distraught rejected girl. Who's in there? Simon Cowell.
How are you not scared? I guess I'm just more used to the feeling.
She's in the zone. Let her get in the zone. She's got the most striking dress on out of the line. Everyone else seems bland and pastel in colour, and she's just went for fucking blood red. This actress is killing it as Pearl. I completely buy her character and her psychoness. This looks like it's going to be a tough crowd. I'm still rooting for her, only because I don't want to get pitchforked in the face though. Her enthusiastic smile is still endearing. That is a crazy shot. I don't understand the significance of it merging with her imagination, but you know, it's got to motivate her a bit to see all that shit. Well, I thought she did great.
It's gonna be a no.
Oh shit, all these people may now die.
Sorry, it's just not what we had in mind.
Dreams absolutely shattered in an instant.
We're looking for something different today. More all-American, younger and blonde.
This is the first guy in this film I would say deserves to die. Bit harsh, but you know, considering what she's killed people for already, this guy definitely deserves it more than them.
You don't understand. I need this.
Next in line, please.
Her weird visions are really creepy and well chosen.
No, I'm a star! Please, I'm a star!
They've done such a good job explaining the old lady's character in X. It's an applaudable script for real. I was curious as to how they would bridge that gap, and they've done it flawlessly. God, she is really crying. Putting all her lungs into that cry. What a waste of good bacon. That thing looked delicious upon arrival. Now it's not even good enough for the alligator. I wouldn't go in this house just now. Chances of leaving, probably slim.
Those old dolts. They know the first thing about quality dancing.
Good pep talk as well. She doesn't deserve Howard's sister.
I don't feel well.
You're not coming down with something, are you?
No, it's not the Spanish flu, just psychosis.
I'm worried there may be something real wrong with me, Mitzi.
Self-acceptance is the first step.
Howard's your husband. He adores you. Shouldn't be afraid to tell him how you feel.
Agreed. If you can't tell your spouse, that is bad news.
Go on, get it all out.
Really?
Yes.
Don't tell her to do this, she's gonna kill you afterwards.
I hate you so much for leaving me here. Sometimes I hope you die.
Not a good opener. Maybe she's gonna close really well though. Gotta give her time.
I don't want to hear about a stranger satisfying your wife, and I swear it was only once.
If I was Howard's sister, I'd have already slapped her for that opening paragraph.
There was a time I was flattered to have someone as handsome as you pine over me. You're such a good person, I know that.
Actually, Howard turned out to be a bit of a piece of shit as well, so not fully accurate.
Pearl, I think I should.
The reason I kept my eyes to the ground around other men was never to avoid hurting you.
The second you asked her to do this, you were already dead.
All my life I've wanted off this farm, and you were my ticket out.
Ironically, Howard ends up spending his life on the farm with you, so he might have been your ticket, but you were definitely not his.
Life terrifies me. It's harsh and bleak and draining.
Yeah, your one is.
Please just tell me so maybe I can get better. I don't want to end up like Mom, or I want to be dancing up on the screen like the pretty girls in the pictures.
Unfortunately, there's not much of a cure for what you have wrong with you.
Sometimes I wake in the middle of the night and the fear washes over me, because what if this is it?
This makes me see the woman in X completely differently as well. Like, all the things you saw her do throughout that film which were just weird, they are completely explained with the mentality that this woman has in her younger years.
I've done bad things. Terrible, awful, murderous things.
Accurate way to describe them.
Nothing with feelings, nothing that could hurt me back. Felt good. Killing's easier than you'd think.
What a horrible way to even look at animals.
I hurt them so they too might know what it feels like to suffer, but poor Daddy didn't deserve that. I wish I hadn't done what I did.
So this is basically turning into a murder confession, which means Howard's sister is definitely fucked.
If you really meant all that, till death do us part, it'd be enough.
That was a long monologue. She did a brilliant job acting that. Completely justified awkward silence there.
Are you frightened of me?
No.
Yeah, why would you think that? How irrational are you, silly?
I'm happy for you. For getting the part. And dance troupe, you deserved it.
Is this her trying to justify what she's about to do in her head? Or did she actually get the part?
It's gonna be real swell. Dancing around the state.
Now they've got me confused. Did she actually get the part, or is she just going along with Pearl's delusion?
You're not gonna say anything, are you?
No.
This woman should have armed herself as soon as Pearl started her speech about murder. If she does die now, it's her own fault for not running or grabbing a weapon. But also, if she did get the part, congratulations. Oh, you better start running. Yeah. It's quite impressive Pearl can keep pace with her jog with just a brisk walk. That's basically every other character who's been in this film, now dead. So the only way this can end now, I think there's maybe 10 minutes left, would be for Howard to return, or her to feed these people to the alligator, and then dance. There's not much more character room in this film. Mitzi was our last hope. Is she even still alive, or is she doing this to a dead body? Yeah, this is going to be the most overweight alligator of all time soon. But as long as she doesn't hurt the cow, she's cool with me.
Lass den Mond am Himmel stehen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're very much dead. Getting served a maggot pig. What a bizarre meal.
Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts.
This is like the Last Supper we never knew we deserved. And this has got to be Howard coming back now. There's no other plot progression which can happen.
Pearl?
It's nice to see a Howard before his chronic back issues come into play. Fuck being in a war than coming home to this.
I'm so happy you're home.
But how can you be mad at that smile? She is holding that smile for a creepily long amount of time. Can't she keep it going for the whole credits? That would be impressive. She's still going. Damn, that actress knocked this out of the park. Okay, and that was Pearl, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Pearl, what did I think of that? First of all, I want to say that in my opinion this was a far superior movie to X. X seemed like a classic horror film with a classic setting, but just new motivations and maybe perpetrators, whereas this felt very, very fresh. Like I said, the closest thing I could actually compare this to would be actually the Joker movie, between the colour palette, even the text used, and also the fact that it's about a person who starts to see things sometimes and go crazy due to the isolation of the lifestyle they lead. All very similar to the Joker. But yeah, I was curious what they were going to do with a sequel to X, and this was brilliantly done. The actress was incredible in it, but it also fully explains how this person we just saw turns into the old lady we saw in X. I wouldn't say it normalises her actions in X, but it completely makes them understandable, and anything she did in X which was just like weird is now explained better because of how she is in this. And it's also one of them films where there's basically no survivors. Everybody she interacted with throughout this film ended up dying essentially. From her parents to the projectionist to Howard's sister Mitzi, everybody met a grim fate just for simply committing the crime of being her friend or within her close proximity while she's going through this psychosis. It's a brilliant script as well. The writing and dialogue was all excellent, especially that one long monologue she had while talking to Mitzi. It was perfectly done. And Ty West has been getting a lot of props recently. I don't know if he did anything before this in X which was justifiably building up his name, but X to me didn't seem that like revolutionary or groundbreaking, whereas this felt, like I said, way more fresh and definitely puts Ty West on my radar, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with the third film of this trilogy, which I believe is a sequel to X, so it can't have the Pearl character in it because she of course dies at the end of X. So where they take the story without this primary character that's been in those two movies, I'm unsure of, but because of how good this was, I will definitely be checking it out and anything else Ty West does in future, especially in the horror genre, because he clearly has a knack for this shit. But yeah, that's probably one of the most unique horror films I've ever reacted to on this channel. Maybe it's the period setting, maybe it's the way it was more of a character study than an actual horror. Either way, it definitely felt like something new, and even though it had elements, like I said, of other films, it felt like something I'd never seen before. And that's all you can hope for when watching a movie. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and the channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.